This is a clip from my latest ad-free, listener-supported Patreon bonus podcast. Check it out. If you like it, please think about signing up on Patreon. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. Enjoy this. I actually want to move on to a couple other things. In beautiful Grand Rapids, West Michigan, we're back to the topic of books in schools. Now, make no mistake. Anytime you talk about libraries in West Michigan, there's something in it about what the kids should see and can't see, and what the parents should be able to do, and parents getting out of the parenting job and joining the teaching ranks, and idiot red staters don't want their kids seeing certain books. It's like, do you realize that your child probably has watched a video where two horses fuck a guy in the ass? And your child's probably been watching it, shit like that, since 1 second after you allowed them to have a phone. All right? And you're worried about fucking a book that has anything to do with a person being gay or transgender or race, or it's ridiculous. Forest Hills Northern is trying to, I think, thread the needle here. That's one of the local schools. Actually, Forest Hills Schools proposes changes to book checkout. On Monday, the district superintendent, Dan Bem, introduced a draft which he says gives families more options over what materials their child accesses. My God. When we were going to school, you just fucking sit down in English class and they throw out the usual. Scarlet Letter, All Quiet on the Western Front, To Kill a Mockingbird, Catcher in the Rye, Huck Finn. I can read the shit, and then we're going to discuss it, and then you're going to write a book report. Meanwhile, mom and dad are having affairs, dad's smoking and drinking, mom's banging the fucking mailman. I mean, can't we go back to that? No. This is a perfect opportunity right here for parents to continue ruining their children with helicopter attitudes. Being a helicopter parent, hovering above them, you will do this. This is what you'll see. They think they're controlling the situation, but they're not. It comes after complaints from parents over the past few years about the content of some books. It might as well just say because bigoted people don't want their kids to be exposed to books that have to do with LGBTQ plus subject matter. So you see, there are still people in this world, many of them, they all live here, who think that if you are, let's say you're a kid and you've been slaying poon throughout high school. And you love it, you just every week you're slaying more poon. You're a dude and you're just a poon slayer. And then these parents think that if you go to the library and grab a book about vag slime, an LGBTQ plus bit of subject matter, it is going to then transform the child to being gay. Okay, that is actually believed by the fucking morons that live around here. Superintendent explains a team of library specialists typically determine what makes it on the shelves. He says while very few students select those books, they want to give families a say. Those books. Under the proposal, the school would develop an online catalog that, for example, would let parents choose which books their child can check out. So basically, they're kind of getting ahead of it. I actually give them credit for that. Like, okay, I guess we are putting it into the power. And this is better than banning books or shutting down libraries, actually. Because then the helicopter parents can be like, oh, yeah, I am so involved in my child here. I'm going to make sure that they can't get all these books that will turn them gay. That's what's going on here. A little more on this. Audio check, video check. Wait a minute. We don't have video check. We will have video check. Sorry, I'm a little rusty today. Audio check, video check, microphone check, and go.
Hills community meeting to discuss the content of some books within the district. Some board members have raised concerns about some reading material not complying with Michigan law. News 8's Amanda Porter was at tonight's meeting. She has more now from board members and from parents.
This is actually about two things. The first thing was about the checklist that parents could check out. The second thing is what she was just talking about.
Community meeting to discuss the content of some books within the district. Some board members have raised concerns about some reading material not complying with Michigan law. News 8's Amanda Porter was at tonight's meeting. She has more now from board members and from parents.
Members of Forest Hills Public School Board talked about their process for selecting what books students read in their schools. Tonight, the FHPS superintendent said keeping updated and relevant books is important and spoke about some books not having a tie to the curriculum or stimulating students' interest. Now, usually the acquisition of material or books is a process including a 30-day book review. The superintendent said all books represent a form of knowledge and they aren't trying to ban knowledge. He mentioned wanting options for parents moving forward, such as students self-selecting books in the media center or having access to the media center with parental settings. Other ideas discussed were students having access to the media center, but students bringing their own books.
No books have been banned. No.
Yeah, well, they will be, though, by the parents. You're opening it up to them. They're going to decide what their kids can and can't read. And I get it. That's what the people want. That's where we live. So these parents are going to be like, you can't read this. You can't read that. Okay, you get a box of food showing up at your door from HelloFresh. Best day ever. You're like, oh, man, I cannot wait to open that thing up. That amazing packaging that keeps everything cold and fantastic. You pull out the meals. You're right. We're going to eat like queens and kings at this household with these meals from HelloFresh. Best day ever. Bonus. You get 65% off that box plus free shipping. Oh, my God. HelloFresh has never had a deal like this, and it's only because you are a listener of the Eric Zane Show podcast. HelloFresh.com/Zane65. And use the code Zane65. You get 65% off plus free shipping. That's incredible. HelloFresh.com/Zane65. And then use the code Zane65 for 65% off plus free shipping. Man, I'm telling you, this is life-changing. The food shows up at the door. Everything laid out perfectly. If you know how to read, then you know how to cook amazing meals for your family. Okay? Problem if you don't know how to read. Track down someone in your inner circle who knows how to read, and they will help you. That's how simple this is. HelloFresh, the absolute best fast and fresh recipes. HelloFresh's latest line of meals featuring robust flavors and filling portions are ready in less than 15 minutes. Enjoy taste and quality done quick with recipes like, get this, falafel power bowls. What? Seared steak and potatoes with béarnaise sauce. I had to practice saying that. Or Southwest pork and bean burritos. You'll find quality ingredients in HelloFresh's recipes. In fact, ingredients travel from the farm to your home in less than 7 days, so you know they're fresh. Okay? Again, go to HelloFresh.com/Zane65. Use code Zane65 for 65% off plus free shipping. Check it out. HelloFresh.
Not whatsoever. Books represent knowledge, and kids can have any books. What we want to make sure is that we've got processes in place for parents to make those decisions for their own children.
Some board members were concerned about graphic, obscene materials and sexual content not complying with Michigan law.
Sawyer Huck Finn and, the things that we grew up with and stuff, not this graphic content that we're listening to every month and stuff.
One member mentioning that some classic books carry racist messages.
It's interesting, Holly, that you had mentioned The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, which has some really disturbing moments in it, some really inappropriate things that perhaps might not have come to mind of some of the people who have read passages that are sexual, but that are incredibly racist, incredibly painful, dehumanizing passages, and yet that continues to be read in schools.
Some parents are upset.
So what?
About what books are not included in schools.
1 year ago, the chief recaller in the room called for a ban on a book that so much as mentioned LGBTQ characters.
That's the book she was holding. It's called My Footprints. It just mentions that those characters exist.
Want them nowhere on the premises. As a result, one of the most innocent... 1 year ago, the chief recaller in the room called for a ban on a book that so much as mention LGBTQ characters. They want them nowhere on the premises. As a result, one of the most innocent books under this very roof called My Footprints was not read to students. So where do we start to draw the line on these policies?
Others...
That's what they want. That's what this is all about. They don't give a shit about the racism, the Huck Finn book. They don't want any exposure. They don't want any reference to LGBTQ+. I'm telling you, this has become the most discriminated person in America. The gay, the LGBTQ+ person, transgender. It's fucking horrible.
Disagree.
That I have an army of people that would be willing to help to weed these books out of our schools and classrooms.
Oh, no.
And I would just like to ask if there are any...
As a result, one of the
most
recent books under this very roof called My Footprints was not read to students. So where do we start to draw the line on these policies?
Others disagree.
That I have an army of people that would be willing to help.
Yes, the mom squad.
To weed these books out of our schools and classrooms. And I would just like to ask if there are any parent volunteers in the room tonight who would be willing to help with that. Would you please stand up to show your support?
Thank you.
Look at all these people hate gays.
All right.
You should get a fucking still frame of all those scumbags.
Next is developing an...
I'd just like to ask if there are any volunteers in the room tonight who would be willing to help with that. Would you please stand up to show your support?
Thank you.
Trying to get a good, clear image. This guy, okay, he hates gays. So does his wife. These two. This guy, he's a gay hater. His mom's a gay hater. This dude, bald spot, he's a gay hater. These two aren't. These two are lesbians. They're going to scissor right after this.
All right.
What's next is developing an updated handbook with clearer guidelines on how FHPS selects their books. They'll also be reposting a district media specialist position. In Grand Rapids...
Jesus Christ. What a bunch of assholes.
Bracing for winter's cold.
Stop. Can you believe this shit? I wish that the guy who runs the school, the superintendent, look, we're getting a lot of pressure from bigots who hate gay people. And they're so stupid, they actually believe that these books are going to turn their kids gay. Okay? But these kids already have more sexual knowledge under their belt right now than they have in their entire lives. And some of them are virgins. They have only had sex with their hand and looked at donkey porno. So don't tell me what is good and bad for the kids. This is going to be like a walk in the park compared to what the fuck they see online. My God. Ryan says, if history has taught us anything, those who ban books aren't usually considered to be the good guys. Rob says kids don't even read books these days. That's true. All right, that's it. If you made it through it, and I hope you did, perhaps the Patreon is for you. I put new material up there daily, and I would love you to check it out. The Patreon bonus podcast. Try it for just 1 month. and see if it's for you. It's just $5 or $10 a month. If you don't like it, you're out just that. No big deal, and I appreciate you for trying. But if you like it, think about it, and you can convert it to a yearly, and I'll take 10% off of the cost. $5 a month for audio, $10 a month for audio, video, and live streams. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. Thanks for listening to this, though. Have a good one. Bye-bye.